Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the All Go Podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. Thank you for tuning in. I am back outside walking. Anyway, the big news, obviously I posted it here on the channel as well as on TikTok. Sherrone Moore is fired with cause from the University of Michigan. A lot going on with this story. At the end of the day, the tough part for Sherrone is, number one, right, getting fired for cause for, inappropriate relationship was not going to be the end all be all for his career, because we've seen that happen before. Like, Bobby Petrino is a great example. He had a similar situation, and he is still coaching to this day. And so it's something that you can come back from. The difficult part is this pending case that he has. Just not a good look, very scary situation. And I heard someone say it, and they were 100% correct. This could have gone, a totally worse way. More, as far as how bad the situation was, it was bad. It could have been a lot worse. So that's the difficult part, is you kind of look at it with, that pending case. I've read an article that even if it is a misdemeanor and he is found guilty, that it would essentially make him unhireable for colleges. And that part's really, it's tough for a guy who really is fast-tracked. I mean, I know he's been coaching for a while, but he's a pretty young guy to be a head coach at a blue blood program like Michigan. So, difficult situation. And, now all the talk has been of who's going to get hired next. And I've been seeing a lot of Kalen DeBoer. I got a couple friends that are Michigan fans that is their number one candidate that they would like to have. I don't see that happening. Anything's possible, but I just don't see it happening. I get it. Kalen is in a stressful situation, but the stress comes from expectations. And you're at a school that's expected every year from the fan base and the administration, make the play, win the SEC, make the playoffs, and win a national championship. Those are the expectations. And as far as coaches and how egomaniacal they are, what else would you rather have? Like, would you want to go somewhere that, like, oh yeah, no, 500. If you can just get above 500, that's all we want. These coaches love to be in that pressure cooker of, yes, we expect to win, because they all think, I'm the guy that can get us over the hump. I'm the guy that can win it. I can be the difference. So I don't think the DeBoer thing is going to happen. If it were to happen, just make sure you take Ryan Grubb with you, because I am over that guy. Anyway, who I think Michigan should call. Yes, call Kalen DeBoer. You should do that. I think he's going to tell you no. My next call, if I were Michigan, would be Kenny Dillingham. And I would make Kenny Dillingham say no. I think he is a terrific coach. I think he'd be great. He's young. He's energetic. Like, he's done some things at Arizona State that are really difficult to do. And I think that would be a home run hire for them. And also, if Kalen DeBoer does go to Michigan, I think Alabama should call Kenny Dillingham, because I think he's an amazing coach. The third person that I think the Wolverines should call is Brian Daboll. Now, I know some people may not like that, but he's got head coaching experience. He has been an OC in college, notably at Alabama. And I think he's a bit of some offensive infusion that I think Michigan probably needs. Granted, he has kind of lived off of Josh Allen looked like Josh Allen under Brian Daboll as his OC. But I think he can help, Bryce Underwood. And also, he is available now. You can get him in the building. Today's Thursday. You can get him in the building Friday and start to pitch your current roster and start calling these recruits who had just signed to you a couple days ago for signing day or last week, right? That's another important part of this. I'm not sure that Michigan can wait until December 20th to potentially hire Kalen DeBoer. Because what if Alabama beats Oklahoma? And now we're looking at another playoff game, right? Alabama doesn't play for another week. Alabama, Oklahoma, right? So you're not going to have Kalen DeBoer. You're not even going to be able to really talk to him. You can talk to his agent, but you're not going to be able to talk to him until their season's done. So if they win next week, I mean, how long do you think you can wait? Because I believe, and I always thought the window was 30 days when your coach leaves. I thought I saw something more recent that said 15 days. As far as players on Michigan's roster can go in the transfer portal. Regardless, if it's 15, if it's 30, you need to make sure you can go and pitch specifically Bryce Underwood to stay and why he should. Because I thought there was a chance Bryce Underwood would leave before this happened and before Lane Kiffin got to LSU. I think those two things happening only raises the possibility. So you need someone in the building right away. I heard someone else mention Joe Brady, who I think is the OC with the Buffalo Bills right now. The only concern I would have with Joe Brady, and it's the only concern, but it's kind of a big deal. He's never been a head coach. And Michigan is not a learn-on-the-job type of program. I said the same thing about Sherrone Moore. And I'm talking just specifically on the field. I don't want a guy who's got to learn how to be a head coach in my program. No. Now, there's times where, that can happen. I think of Kirby Smart, right, at Georgia. He wasn't a head coach before, so he had to learn that. But Kirby was a well-seasoned defensive coordinator, was the top of everyone's list, was consistently telling people, no, I'm going to stay. And he waited until the perfect opportunity for him. He's gotten there, and he's knocked it out of the park. But Kirby Smart, none of these guys are Kirby Smart, right? Like Joe Brady, I think he's a terrific OC. I think that would be infusion for the offense that they need. And but like I said, he's never been a head coach, so that would concern me quite a bit. But those would be the calls. Like I said, to me, it'd be. I don't think Marcus Freeman is taking this job. Ryan Day is not taking this job. I don't think Kalen DeBoer. I heard Dan Lanning. Like, what do you guys? Kurt Signetti. Those guys are not taking this job. Kalen maybe, but Lanning and Signetti, like, no, that's not happening. Kurt Signetti is coaching the best team in the country right now. The country. He's got what, two or three losses in the last 2 years combined? He's going to leave that? Kurt Signetti is a king in Indiana. He'll never pay for another burger in his entire life in the state of Indiana, and he makes a whole lot of money. That's not happening. Michigan's a great job. Make no mistake, but those guys aren't leaving. Signetti, Freeman, and Lanning, I just don't see it. I don't see it. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, pretty crazy situation there in Ann Arbor, and it dropped like a bomb yesterday. It's pretty wild. But yeah, that is it for me. Appreciate it. Peace.